Some have claimed to be prophets since the beginning of time, predicting that the world is about to end. Some have claimed to be prophets, but none have had a clearer vision of the terrible things that are yet to come than the most famous prophet in the world, Nostradamus. May brought a tremendous earthquake, accompanied by complete hailstones larger than eggs. There have been tales of prophets and seers in the past who were able to foretell the future. The new city's tower quakes as a raging inferno erupts from the planet's core, a duel between two massive clocks. Legend has it that these individuals have extraordinary abilities that allowed them to perceive details that the rest of us missed. These individuals have made fascinating forecasts based on truancies, visions, and dreams. Some notable individuals in this category include Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and Mother Teresa. Nevertheless, many have disregarded and even rejected such forecasts as logical errors. However, I must inform you that as of late, their forecasts have sparked an extraordinary global frenzy, captivating many and making them the subject of much debate. In this video, we will examine their astounding and shocking predictions for the year 2025. Nostradamus and his prophecies. The renowned Nostradamus was born on December 14, 1503, in France. Michel de Nostradam was his given name. He was born into a Jewish family that, in the face of persecution, turned to Christianity. A grain broker by trade, Nostradamus benefited from a well-funded upbringing. The future prophet Nostradamus had an early fascination with astrology and medicine. Prior to his time at Montpellier, he attended Avignon University. Nostradamus honed his skills as a pharmacist and eventually became an accomplished apothecary. As he continued his education, he discovered that certain minerals and plants had curative powers. Nostradamus traveled widely after finishing his schooling, accumulating information and experience. But then he started doing something else that was quite interesting. At this period, he started to record his prophecies and forecasts in writing, using what he knew about astrology in conjunction with his keen eye for observation. He eventually married Henriette and made Salon de Provence his permanent home. They had 2 children together. He was out on a medical trip when a plague struck, killing his wife and children. His tragic loss of his wife and 2 small children causes the renowned plague doctor to fade from public view for 6 years. In the wake of this catastrophe, Nostradamus remarried and expanded his family by 6. He went on to build a reputation for himself as a doctor known for his unusual approaches to patient care. He advocated for modern health practices like regular washing, plenty of fresh air, and nutritious food rather than antiquated practices like bloodletting and mercury potions. In his many works on astrology and medicine, Nostradamus included weather and agricultural yield forecasts in his almanacs. Les Prophéties, a book he released in 1555, included enigmatic lyrics that were thought to portend future occurrences. The Catholic Church and certain academics were skeptical of Nostradamus, but his forecasts nevertheless brought him fame. People continue to look to Nostradamus' prophecies for validity because approximately 2/3 of them have already happened. He is now widely recognized as one of the most revered prophets of all time. Thanks to the countless people he has enchanted with his prophecies. During difficult times, many turned to him for guidance because they thought his prophecies were true. His enigmatic works continue to captivate readers even after Nostradamus' untimely death on July 2nd, 1566. Some argue that he foretold the French Revolution, Napoleon's ascent to power, and even the 9/11 attacks based on his prophecies, while others disagree. These, however, are merely the most visible aspects of Nostradamus' predictions. Stay with me, and I'll show you some of his predictions, particularly the ones that have everyone on edge about the year 2025. Nostradamus has a distinct method of prophesying, which is the first thing you should know. He avoided being blunt and instead wrote in a style that makes understanding what he said feel like completing a jigsaw. Metaphors, symbolism, and ambiguous language abound in his prophecies, which invite interpretation. His prognosis of a Japanese earthquake is one of his most famous prophecies. Many interpret his references to seismic activity, which he omitted from his writings, as a reference to earthquakes in Japan. A devastating earthquake, according to the prophecy, will strike Japan, killing countless people and destroying the country. The seismic activity that occurs when tectonic plates clash is largely responsible for Japan's reputation as an earthquake-prone country. There has been a flurry of interest in Nostradamus' prophecy recently because of the widespread belief that it is still applicable until the year 2025. So, as we approach the midpoint of 2024, individuals all across the globe are eagerly awaiting the fulfillment of Nostradamus' prophecy. Some may think it's all just a coincidence, while others can't stop thinking about the future messages in his writings and the secrets they contain. What follows is an even more startling forecast. A youthful pope's ascension to the papacy is being discussed in the enigmatic realm of Nostradamus' prophecies. Envision an unanticipated but doomed newcomer to the Vatican. Imagine for a moment a young man who came from nothing, maybe even the son of a shepherd, ascending to the lofty position of pope. Nostradamus implies that what seems like a scenario out of a fairy tale might actually be happening. With his boundless vitality and boundless enthusiasm, this youthful pope has the potential to shake up the long-established Catholic Church traditions. The mysterious writings of Nostradamus foretell the coming of a young pontiff who will surprise everyone and revitalize the Church. The image of a revolutionary leader who would bring forth a new age of optimism and revitalization seems to have appeared to him. Just think of all the interest and anticipation that would surround someone of that stature. But from what background could this youthful pope emerge? By predicting the rise of a pope with ancestry from a faraway region, Nostradamus alludes to the East. The fact that this has the potential to introduce new ideas and viewpoints to the hallways of the Vatican only heightens the mystery around it. It's like a plot surprise that adds to the intrigue of the drama. There will be difficulties, but this new pope will ultimately achieve grandeur. The future of the Church, according to Nostradamus, would be brighter thanks to a leader who would guide it through difficult times. It is a story of perseverance and faith that encourages people all across the globe. Rumor has it that the tale of the young pope's inauguration is ultimately a hopeful one. In Nostradamus' vision, a leader would emerge who would surprise everyone and usher in a new era of optimism in a world that desperately needed it. There's more. Nostradamus also foretold a devastating famine in 2025, which is a major prophecy. According to some scholars, Nostradamus' quatrains represent a global famine because they often mention times of shortage and hunger. Extreme food shortages resulting in massive hunger and misery are considered as the Great Famine foretold by Nostradamus. Although the precise reason for the famine is never revealed, it is commonly linked to problems in food production and distribution, which may be worsened by environmental issues or geopolitical conflicts. Many are intrigued by Nostradamus' prophecy of the Great Famine, particularly with 2025 quickly approaching. Some see it as a message about the dangers of overpopulation, climate change, and environmental damage. Curiously, the allure of Nostradamus' predictions has not faded with the passing of time. People still look to his works for predictions about the future, whether in books, films, internet forums, or videos on YouTube. Despite how awful this sounds, it's not the final chapter. Let's have a look at the stunning facts that another psychic foretold regarding the year 2025. Did Nostradamus frighten you? See this then. A blind mystic from Bulgaria in the 20th century, Baba Vanga was renowned as the Balkans' Nostradamus. Her birth name was Vangelia Gushtarova, and she was born on January the 31st, 1911, in a village nestled among verdant hills and abundant vegetation. Even though they were poor, her family's love and warmth made their house a happy one. But then a terrible incident occurred that altered the course of her life irrevocably. She had sand and dust all over her eyes. A terrible storm hit Baba Vanga's village when she was just 12 years old, and her life took a catastrophic turn from then. Amidst the mayhem, a whirlwind engulfed young Vanga, causing her serious harm. She was left in the dark as the storm took her sight. What was meant to bring her misery may have turned out to be a fortunate turn of events. Who am I to speak? Baba Vanga's other senses appeared to sharpen after she lost her sight, allowing her access to a realm beyond the material one. A peculiar intuition and an inherent sixth sense began to take hold of her. Vanga was known as a perceptive and intelligent little girl due to her extraordinary heightened awareness of her environment. Baba Vanga was an inspiration to her loved ones and the people around her because she persevered through adversity. Because of her supposed special link to the supernatural, people would go to her modest home to seek her counsel and wisdom. Baba, or grandmother, is a beloved term for Vanga because of the comfort and solace she brought to individuals in need through her intuitive insights and compassionate disposition. The psychic powers of Baba Vanga became increasingly apparent as she aged. People would seek her advice because she had a sixth sense that allowed her to glimpse into their innermost being. Because of her reputation for seeing through facades, people traveled great distances to seek her advice. However, things start to heat up at this point. The astonishing prophecies that Baba Vanga could make about the future caused her fame as a seer to radiate. Even though she couldn't see with her natural eyesight, Vanga appeared to be able to glimpse into the future through her inner vision. The mystique around her prophetic powers attracted people from various walks of life who sought her counsel and advice. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions were only a few of the many natural and political calamities that Baba Vanga foretold. Her forecast covered every aspect of human life. A number of Baba Vanga's prophecies stand out because to their prominence and precision. Her 1986 prognosis of the Chernobyl nuclear tragedy is among her most renowned predictions. Long before the devastating meltdown, Baba Vanga foretold of a nuclear power plant's impending doom, predicting immense destruction and pollution. As one of the deadliest nuclear catastrophes in history, the Chernobyl reactor explosion curiously confirmed her forecast. Let us decipher Baba Vanga's more baffling statements, particularly those pertaining to the year 2025, as we delve further into the secrets of her life and legacy. She foretold, among other things, the rise of a sickness more devastating to mankind than COVID-19, one that was both extremely infectious and extremely lethal. We are all well aware of the global impact that the fatal COVID-19 virus had. Even though the COVID pandemic has been going strong for 4 years, hundreds of individuals continue to lose their lives each day. About 600 people die every day in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It triggered a crisis from which some nations' economies have not yet fully recovered. Still, word of yet another fatal illness has spread. Just what is more terrifying? The safety and health of humans have always been at risk from contagious diseases. Widespread disease, mortality, and social upheaval have been hallmarks of pandemics, such as the Spanish flu and the Black Death. The severe repercussions of a global pandemic have already been proven by COVID-19, which is caused by the new coronavirus. People are now worried about the possibility of future epidemics due to Baba Vanga's prediction of a new disease's arrival. There would be catastrophic consequences for healthcare systems, economy, and human lives if this disease were to spread at an uncontrolled rate. In addition to the dire health predictions she had already made, Baba Vanga had another shocking prophecy. We thought we had seen everything when Baba Vanga made an astonishing forecast about Vladimir Putin, the present president of Russia. Tell me what she said about him. Baba Vanga made a number of fascinating predictions, including the impending assassination of Vladimir Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin is a major player internationally, drawing attention to himself and his administration through their aggressive leadership and divisive policies. Many have taken notice of Baba Vanga's prophecy of his assassination, which has led many to wonder what this could mean for international politics and security. Some have taken her words to mean that she predicted an assassination attempt on Putin's life, which would result in his demise. When and how exactly this might happen is anybody's guess. However, both believers and skeptics have been stirred into argument and speculation by the very suggestion of such a possibility. Baba Vanga's followers take her prophecy as a sign that Russia and the rest of the globe are in for some trouble. They claim that killing Putin or any other global leader may set off a chain reaction of events that could lead to economic collapse, political chaos, or even war. Skeptics, however, point to the paucity of proof to back up her assertions and dismiss her predictions as little more than wild guesswork. People are more than just frightened by the prophecy. Concerns regarding Russia's trajectory and place in the world have been prompted by the prospect of Vladimir Putin's assassination. Putin has considerable influence over foreign relations, geopolitics, and security as one of the most powerful leaders in the world. Whether by assassination or some other means, his abrupt deposition from office would have far-reaching consequences for global and regional security, although accurate future predictions are unattainable. Baba Vanga's prophecy provides insight into the difficulties and unknowns. Regardless of the outcome of her prediction, it is crucial to remain vigilant and well-prepared to deal with any challenges that may arise to global stability and security. The complicated and unpredictable character of geopolitics in the 21st century is on full display as the world's tensions rise and leaders like Vladimir Putin's fate continue to be the subject of heated conjecture and discussion. Prepare to be astounded by my following prediction. Biological weapons are being developed as part of this. She expressed concern that people would continue to develop these harmful agents, which could lead to global disasters. To inflict harm on humans, animals, or plants, biological weapons are created from compounds derived from live creatures or their waste products. These weapons can be transmitted through food, drink, or air, and can take the form of bacteria, viruses, poisons, or fungi. Illness, death, and anarchy can ensue if biological weapons are used. This future-threatening prophecy regarding the proliferation of biological weapons is deeply troubling. Without adequate precautions, the development and deployment of these lethal agents could lead to epidemics, pandemics, or even biological warfare. The danger may be amplified if these weapons were to slip into the hands of terrorist organizations or renegade nations. Yet, there's more. Attacks on computers and widespread monitoring are the subject of another important forecast she made. Every level of society, from individuals to governments, is increasingly vulnerable to cyber attacks in our highly linked world. Malicious actors take advantage of loopholes in digital systems to steal data, interrupt services, and sow confusion through data breaches and ransomware assaults. Societies are more susceptible to cyber dangers due to their growing reliance on technology, emphasizing the necessity for strong cybersecurity measures. Protecting digital infrastructure and individual privacy should be top priorities in light of Baba Vanga's warning regarding cyber attacks and spying. Efforts to safeguard online systems and prevent cyber threats must keep pace with the rapid development of technology. The appropriate use of digital resources and investments in cybersecurity education, training, and technology are part of this. People are worried about the erosion of civil liberties and personal freedoms due to the prospect of extensive monitoring. There are concerns regarding data protection, surveillance tactics, and individuals' rights to privacy as a result of governments and corporations collecting and analyzing massive amounts of data. Maintaining democratic principles and protecting human rights in the digital era requires a balance between security needs and privacy concerns. This forecast should serve as a reminder to maintain a state of constant vigilance and proactiveness in relation to the ever-changing digital threats. Imagine for a second, if I told you that Baba Vanga wasn't the only woman whose extraordinary abilities to see into the future and lend a helping hand have made her name immortalized in history. The Macedonian-born Mother Teresa whose given name is Agnes Gongsha Bojashu, spent her life helping the poor in India. She inherited a deep faith and an abundance of compassion from her parents, who were deeply committed Catholics. Mother Teresa rose from modest origins to become one of the most admired people of the contemporary era. How is this even possible? The Catholic faith had a profound impact on Agnes's life from an early age, molding her character and values. For hours on end, she pondered planetary motions and their alleged effects on human conduct, enthralled by the wonders of the night sky and the cosmos. As she matured, her interest in astrology grew, and she began to see it as a window into her role in the universe. It eventually became an integral part of her worldview, shaping her perspective on humanity and her responsibility to alleviate pain. At the age of 18, Agnes felt a strong desire to follow in Saint Teresa of Avila's footsteps and serve others. She traveled to India on a mission, renouncing her name to Sister Mary Teresa. After deciding to become a teacher in Kolkata, she joined the Loreto Sisters. Still, her life was profoundly affected by her experiences with the city's slums and its poverty and misery. A profound feeling of empathy and compassion was kindled within Mother Teresa by seeing the terrible circumstances of the impoverished and ill in the slums of Kolkata. In her desire to help society's most helpless people, she founded the Missionaries of Charity and devoted herself entirely to their care. The selfless devotion of Mother Teresa to serving others brought her the title of Saint of the Gutters and served as an inspiration to innumerable people across the globe. Those around her were moved by her steadfast faith and profound spirituality, which influenced her every deed. Mother Teresa never wavered in her dedication to helping the poor, even when she encountered many obstacles along the way. Her selfless dedication to helping the oppressed and ending their suffering won her praise and admiration around the world. She became an international symbol of kindness and love after receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 for her remarkable humanitarian efforts. Millions of people are still moved by her story, which shows how one person can change the world for the better. To be sure, Mother Teresa had her share of difficulties in her early years. Her father's unexpected death left her without a father figure when she was just 12 years old. She was more determined than ever to overcome the obstacles she had encountered in her search for life's meaning and purpose after this traumatic experience. She wrote to Father Perrier about how she had come to terms with her spiritual darkness and how she had welcomed her suffering as a type of the physical anguish that Christ endured. Because of this, she was able to break out of her despair, which in turn gave her hope and turned her suffering into an emblem of her faith and strength. Mother Teresa stuck to God's will even though she had a hard time doing it. She was less well known for her prophecies than for her tremendous kindness and devotion to helping the sick and impoverished. On the contrary, she was known for her generous and loving nature. Although her ability to foretell the future was not on par with that of Baba Vanga or Nostradamus, her words and deeds were nonetheless considered prophetic by some. Forgiveness, compassion, and love were themes that Mother Teresa often addressed. No matter their history or current situation, she thought every individual possessed inherent value and respect. Spread love wherever you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. This message of spreading love and joy is in line with the idea of prophecy as a vision of a better future, which is one of Mother Teresa's most famous words. Mother Teresa devoted her life to bringing about the kind of society she dreamed of, in which people were compassionate and kind to one another. Not only did Mother Teresa's teachings change the world, but her deeds did so as well. She established the religious order known as the Missionaries of Charity, with the goal of helping the world's poorest people, providing vital services to individuals in need. The organization runs soup kitchens, orphanages, schools, and clinics in more than 130 countries. Mother Teresa's life and teachings persist in motivating individuals across the globe to embrace kindness, generosity, and compassion, even though her prophecies might not have foretold specific future occurrences. This is one way in which her legacy may be considered prophetic. It paints a picture of a future in which all people are valued and respected. Speculation and doubt about the veracity and interpretation of prophecies have ignited discussions at various points in history. Famous people whose predictions have caused stirs include Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and Mother Teresa. A common critique of Nostradamus' prophecies is that they are often read in retrospect and applied to past events. The idea that his forecasts are precise, when in fact they might be nebulous and subject to different interpretations, stems from confirmation bias. Some have even gone so far as to say that the media played a major part in making Baba Vanga's prophecies more credible by sensationalizing them and using them to prove that she had supernatural powers. The public's fascination with her prophecies and the mystique surrounding her persona have been enhanced by this sensationalism. In the end, when it comes to prophecies, skepticism and speculation are complementary. Some people see them as interpretations or random occurrences, but others see them as signs of things to come or as manifestations of greater realities. This video has reached its conclusion. In the space provided, please share your thoughts on these prophecies. Please subscribe, like, and share for more content.